Welcome back. Sexual violence is a serious social ill that constantly requires the attention of all. It becomes more worrisome when minors are involved as victims. This next report examines the wave of sexual assault on children in Nigeria against the backdrop of a sit-out protest held in Lagos.
The word doesn't sound pleasant to the ears. But rape is one of the most serious and atrocious crimes in the society. A global pandemic that affects people of all classes, regardless of race, ethnic background or religion. Sadly, women are mostly in the receiving end in this crime. Like other developed and developing countries, Nigeria has witnessed an increasing number of cases of sexual violence. According to the National Bureau of Statistics, a total of 125,790 cases of violent crimes were reported in 2016. Lagos State has the highest percentage of total cases reported, followed by the Federal Capital Territory Abuja and Delta State. Although the report does not have specific numbers on rape cases, it indicates that over 45,000 cases and offences against persons were recorded. These offences include murder, manslaughter, infanticide, rape and other physical abuses. At its last town hall meeting on security, the Lagos Police Command reported that a total of 162 rape cases were recorded in this state in 2016. The figure shows consistent increase despite the state government's investment in security. Recent incidents of sexual abuse of women, especially children in Lagos State, have forced these men and women out of their comfort zones to a sit-out protest against rape.
It is very disturbing that in 2017 the rights of our children are being violated. It is our duty as citizens of Nigeria, as well as the government, to protect children. They should not be violated, and children who are violated are damaged, and they're damaged for life. So we have to protect our children because our children cannot speak for themselves. That is why they have adults responsible for them. That is why the government must protect them and speak on their behalf.
There is this Obiamaka last week, the 14-year-old who was raped and killed. We don't know in what circumstances, but the fact remains that she was raped and killed. About 4-6 weeks ago, there was the episode of Ikoyi, Obalende, young boys in broad daylight attempting to rape their schoolmates. End of session situation. I know that Mirabel Center, the rape center, has big statistics. Like every week, not less than 10 to 20 rape situations come around for treatment, for analysis, because they have to analyze and show that it has already. And for me, let me take the immediate one. From Thursday last week till now, I have had four rape cases.
You can see that that's why I have the name of Obiamaka here. When I heard the story of this young girl that was not only raped, but was also murdered, then I knew that we have a major problem on our hands. Because this is also a time that all our girls are home on holidays. We're probably going to have hundreds and thousands of girls just at home. Does it mean that every one of them can stand the potential of being raped? That's why I decided that we can no longer keep quiet. That's why I decided that we must be able to show and tell people that this is a menace that our society must face.
Despite the existence of the Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Response Team set up to help raise awareness and respond to reported cases, these aggrieved protesters believe more needs to be done.
This is a menace that our society must face. And in terms of judgment for the rapist, I sincerely believe that we must find a way of not only taking them to court, but also shaming them within the society, which they are. If the man is a rapist, everyone around must know that this is a rapist. If it is a boy, everyone around must know that this is what this boy does.
I am clamoring, I am waging war against criminal silence on the part of parents.
Their demands include prompt and professional response by the police to distress calls, diligent investigations and prosecution of offenders by the police and officials of the State Ministry of Justice, a fast-track court system for victims and their families, creation of more sexual assault referral centers across the state, and ensure speedy medical and psychological support for victims. Others are the development of a good fostering system to ensure that child victims of sexual abuse in their homes are extracted from such environment and placed with families that will lovingly care for them. Inclusion of life skills development models into circular of schools to equip young children with values and morals. Continuous engagement of stakeholders in town hall meetings aimed at educating them on their role in assisting to curb the sexual assault in their communities, as well as the review of the Lagos State criminal law from life imprisonment to death penalty for rape and defilement convicts. The seat-out protest to the Lagos State House pays off after all. The complaints and demands were received by the Commissioner for Women Affairs and Poverty Alleviation.
We had for the kidnappers, it is death sentence. So why should it not be death sentence for those who rape and even kill? We don't want it to be as pronounced as the ones we have in India or South Africa. No, we must stop this tide. They have formed an alliance, which makes them very formidable. You understand? So if they come up with a bill, it's the job of the House of Assembly to look at it. Yes, they can pass it through me. We'll look at it, add our own, talk to them, you understand, and then send it to the House of Assembly. Or they send it directly to the House of Assembly.
Among the protesters are victims of sexual violence. Eniola Salu is one of them. She has put aside several years of stigma to speak out. She even declines that her face be covered before this interview.
Why I'm here and why I'm not covering my face is because I want us to remove the stigmatization when it comes to rape. People don't want to talk about it, and here I am talking about it. I was a sex slave at the age of 5, non-stop, till age of 6 years plus, when my mom came to rescue me from the village. Because of a broken marriage, my father took me away, and he took me to the village. I'm sure I never knew that I'm going to be sexually abused. It's not even abuse, slave. Because my uncle was having me whenever he wants it. And to God be the glory, I survived it and I'm alive today.
No to rape! No to rape! No to rape! No to rape! Castration for rapists! Castration for rapists!
Speaking out against sexual violence may be difficult, especially for victims who mostly fear stigmatization.
Justice for Obiamaka! Justice for Obiamaka!
For Eniola, it speeds up the recovery process. While collective action is needed to combat this menace, governments must be proactive to ensure that it is curtailed to the barest minimum.
Our boys must be saved. Our babies must be saved. Our babies must be saved. We say no to rape. We say no to rape. Amen. Amen.
Well, that report brings this week's edition of Dateline Lagos to a close. Thank you sincerely for watching. Keep your comments coming through our social media platforms showing on your screen. I'm Loretta Chiogo. Bye-bye now.